Hi there. So in this video, we are going to go over the examples that you missed in class. So get your spiral notebook, and all you need to do are write these examples into your notebook, and this will count as your makeup work. Okay? So we're going to title this part 2. It's an extension of a page of notes we already have. We're going to continue evaluating functions, but this time we're going to do it with variables. All right? So we're going to start with example 1. And in example 1, we are given a function f of x equals 3x minus 5. So what I'm going to do in part A is I'm going to start with where we were, which was doing problems like f of negative 6. Let's just recall what this means and how to get the answer for this. So what this means is that we are going to plug in x equals negative 6. Okay, so we are going to go into the function and we're going to write 3, and then we're going to replace the x with a negative 6 and then minus the 5. All right, so a simple little input, and that's going to give us, when we multiply first, negative 18 minus 5, and the output is negative 23. So remember, we input x coordinates. All right, this would be an input in x, and we output y coordinates. So then we saw problems like this, where it would say f of x equals negative 6, and then it said find x. So how does moving the negative 6 over on the other side of the equal sign change this problem? Well, it changes the meaning of the problem. And now what this means is we need to set the f equation, which is 3x minus 5, equal to negative 6. Okay, it doesn't mean that I input negative 6, it means I set it equal to negative 6. So it's going to look like 3x minus 5 equals negative 6. And then when we use our algebra skills to solve for x, we therefore go backwards and find what the input was. Okay, so just remember at any time. This was nice about a video is you can pause it, rewind it, kind of tailor it to the speed that you need. So let's get into variables. So now what we can do is, let's suppose that I'm asked to find, let's see, part C right here, find f of 2a. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to input x equals 2a. So the function is going to be 3, and replacing the x, I'm going to input 2a, and then we're going to subtract 5. So it's really the exact same thing as inputting a number, but the difference is, instead of outputting a single number, we are going to output a new function. Okay, and this 6a minus 5 is the f function with 2a replaced for x. And that right there would be our answer. Okay, so let's build on that a little bit. Let's suppose now that for the last part in this example, we need to define f of x minus 4. Okay, so again, what this means is input x minus 4 into the x in the function. Okay, so this is going to be 3. We're going to replace the x with x minus 4, and then we're going to put minus 5. So now, in simplifying, we would distribute and get 3x minus 12, and we simplify a little bit more, and we get 3x minus 17. So sometimes what we see here is we have now a new function with x minus 4 replaced in for the x. All right, so next set of examples I think will help really drive this point home. And this is the last set of examples we're going to do. So this is not a very long video right here. All right, so let's go into example 2. Example 2, suppose we are given g of x equals x squared minus 2x. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is, let's say in part A we find g of 3b, okay? And in part B, we're going to find g of 3 plus b. I really want you to see the difference between how these two different expressions get inputted. All right, so for g, what we're going to do is the f function is, or I'm sorry, the g function is x squared minus 2x, right? So we're going to replace the first x with 3b and square that quantity, and then replace also the second x with 3b. So that 3b is going to input into this first x, and it's going to input into this x. And now we just need to work out the math and we need to simplify. Well, anytime I have a quantity squared, what that means is it means that anything squared means times itself twice. So what that really means is 3b times 3b minus 2 times 3b. So when we simplify, this makes 9b squared minus 6b. Okay, and that right there would be my simplified function, which is the g function with a 3b inputted. And this really is just setting the stage for what's going to come down the road, okay? So these are really just exercises that help us understand the concept so that we can then build to something later. All right, so let's look at part B and see how this changes it. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the g function, and in for the first x, we're going to plug in 3 plus b and square that quantity minus 2 and replace the second x with a 3 plus b. So you can see here that the 3 plus b substitute into the first x and inputs into the second x. Now, like I said, whenever something is squared, we need to write that quantity twice, and we've got a little bit of distributing to do this time. Well, with the first multiplication, we're going to have to double distribute, or maybe you know it as FOIL, correct? So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3b is plus 3b. Now we're going to take the b times 3 right here and get another plus 3b. And finally, we're going to take b times b and get plus b squared. And then we have another little distributing here. So this is going to be minus 2 times 3, and then minus 2 times b, which is 2b. Okay, so now we combine all these like terms, and maybe we flip this around and decide to put this in standard form. So the biggest exponent I see is ab squared. And then 3b times 3b, well, let's highlight these. 3b plus 3b minus 2b. So let's see, 3b plus 3b is 6b, minus 2b is going to be plus 4b. And then finally, we've got like terms with the 9 and the negative 6. So the constant term is going to be plus 3. All right, so that would be the new g function with a 3 plus b inputted and simplified. Okay, so go back through, rewind anything you need to see, and make sure that you get all of these examples. And as always, the most important part is you have to show Mrs. Shape to make sure that you get credit for your makeup work. Okay, thanks for watching.